What if the government shutdown financial crisis coincides with the AI bubble popping? Both of these things are being talked about endlessly on my feed, but I don't see anyone making the connection between the two, so I'm going to. Now, before we start, I want to say I'm not an economist. This take is based purely on vibes. But you know, the stock market is based entirely on vibes. I do have credentials, so I feel qualified to speculate on this. This might be a long one, so strap in. So two things are happening here. First, it's estimated that we are going to lose tens of billions of dollars in GDP due to spending loss from government workers being furloughed and recipients of government assistance programs not having cash to spend in the economy. This includes things like SNAP, of course, but it also includes things like Small Business Association-backed small business loans. At the same time, companies like OpenAI are saying that they still need billions, potentially in the form of government handouts, to even get close to fulfilling on their promise of artificial superintelligence. But I think at this point, most folks would settle on a product that doesn't rely on producing deepfake porn as a revenue strategy, considering that a recent MIT study found that 95% of companies that have adopted generative AI have not profited from the technology at all. You might be wondering, haven't these tech companies gotten enough money? I think they have. And in reality, they're also just looping the same cash around over and over again between OpenAI, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Oracle. Look at this circle jerk of a graphic. Nonetheless, Sam Altman has already started his press tour to normalize the idea that the government should bail out big tech when the bubble eventually pops.
Some level, when something gets sufficiently huge, whether or not they are on paper, the federal government is kind of the insurer of last resort, as we've seen in various financial crises and insurance companies screwing things up.
Here's the thing, the economy was kind of already tanking before this, and only a small number of companies were keeping the whole ship afloat. Want to guess what they were? If you guessed it, AI companies, you were correct. These 7 companies account for 1/3 of the total value of the S&P 500. They are also responsible for 75% of the market's gains since the AI hype cycle began. Right now, it's estimated that the misallocated capital in 2025 is 65% of the US GDP. To put that into perspective, right before the 2008 financial collapse, the misallocated capital was only 18% of the US GDP. What this means is that the AI bubble is 17 times larger than the dot-com bubble, and 4 times larger than the housing bubble. It's estimated that a dot-com level fallout would wipe out $20 trillion in wealth for American households. If the companies that buy this technology from big tech continue to feel the pressures of declining consumer spending, it is likely that they will start to cut superfluous costs, like expensive technology that doesn't benefit them in any meaningful way. There are quite a few signals here that we are potentially headed toward the perfect storm of an economic crash out. As a professor, I'm thinking about what this means for universities that are already severely hurting from federal funding cuts to research by the Trump administration. When the AI bubble pops, we will likely see the industry funding that keeps engineering schools afloat also dry up, which will send shockwaves through the entire university ecosystem. And that's just one example in one sector of society. The AI apocalypse, it's not going to be robots waking up and killing everyone. It's going to be a financial apocalypse at the hands of capitalists. You might be asking, how should we prepare? And I'm not sure there's anything the average American do to prepare themselves financially. But if there is a crash and the government rushes to bail out the oligarchs, we should be preparing to organize the class-conscious counter-movement. Think Occupy Wall Street 2.0. But maybe the vibes are just off and I'm reading too much into it. Let me know what you think in the comments.